Before we go on to talk to this week's guest's meat dress, it's only right that we acknowledge the achievement of Bridgend rock band Those Damn Crows for getting to #1 in just about every official UK album chart this week. This achievement has been recognised on Welsh TV and Welsh media as well as across the water on Billboard. Having tracked the band at various small venues, including a flatbed lorry in 2019, where I served as a sound tech for the day, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Shane, Dave, Lloyd, Ronnie and Shiner on this monumental occasion. To quote the band, who said rock and roll is dead? With the music scene starting to liven up again, I had the opportunity to visit 3 small stages across the area this week. Firstly, I had the chance to see Silver Roller and the Karma Effect in the Patriot, followed by another surprise chance to see Silver Roller supporting the absolutely mind-blowing Dutch band De Wolf on their UK tour. Finally, a trip to Swansea saw me at Hangar 18 for the King Kraken album launch, which was supported by Tattoo Molly and Molly Kraken. Images and reviews from these gigs will be on Uberrock soon. Here we are at Small Stages, Big Sounds for Uberrock again. I'm David O'Neill, and I'm joined today by Rosie, Tom and John from the South Wales-based band Meat Dress. And we'll have a little chat about their music and their style and various other things. And the reason for this is because they're performing at Flystock at the beginning of May, which is the reopening of one of my favourite small venues in the area, the Dragonfly. Morning all, how are you?
We're good, yeah.
Good. Hello, good.
So, how long have you been together as a band, and how did you meet?
So we met in uni. We've been like a band since like October, like November time, 2023. We've had a few lineup changes. John was like our first like official bassist, and then we added Joel, who's guitar and backing vocals, who's also in Atmosphere as well, in like February last year. Yeah, it's been like a work in progress, but like I'd say we've got the current lineup for about a year.
So, is it just the 3 of you in the band now?
And there's 5 of us, yeah. So
Okay.
I'm vocals. We've got Tom on drums, who is also in like 3 other bands as well. He's also in Atmosphere, where he does guitar. He's vocals in like a band called New Evo, and then he does a whole lot of stuff for like an American-based band called Brain Dead. And then we've got John, who's our bassist, and then Dylan, who's guitar and who was guitar in a band called Pariah, who was Swansea-based.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Joel as well. Like I said, he was also in Atmosphere.
And so you're a talented man then.
Yeah, we try.
Hours in the day is the issue, isn't it? Bit of an unusual name. Where did it come from?
It came from like Lady Gaga. I am absolutely obsessed with Gaga. I've actually got the meat dress like tattooed on my arm as well. So I just love like the artistic vision, the theatrical, and like everything that Gaga does. And I just felt that name was really fitting for what we're hoping to achieve.
Okay. Well, that was my first thought when you like found out the band name. So at least you've confirmed that for me. What style did you say your music is?
I'll let John take this one as a tricky question.
Okay, so like how I describe it normally, it's mostly like emo with like some heavy influences.
Okay.
That's the probably best way to put it instead of like going into some random subgenres. Really.
No, that's fine. That gives me an idea where it lies because I had no idea.
Yeah, there's so many inspirations for it that it's really hard to pinpoint like an exact genre. Yeah, I feel like John emo, heavy, but also like melodic, like vocals. It's a tricky question.
Because with a name like that, I had visions of it being death metal or something. But at least I know it's not Gaga-esque either.
Yeah, not pop.
Okay, what does it mean to you to be opening or help part of the reopening of the Dragonfly? Have you heard of the Dragonfly before?
Yes, so I've actually like I'm from like Aberystwyth, so I go to like, well, all the time I went to the Fly with my dad. I actually had my 18th birthday party there as well. So lots of memories there. My dad is quite close friends with like Nick, and he always tells me the story where he met. It was like the Pink Slips were playing for like their download show, and he met Duff McKagan, and he couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there that night as well.
Very like very cool. And like the band, like, you know, they've had like Slaves, which are now like Soft Play there, so very cool to like say that we've like played like the same places as like they have. I played Flystock when I was like 14, just like me on my uke, just doing like covers, but I can say it's definitely elevated from that point.
No uke involved then.
No ukulele involved this time, no.
So you've been together about 18 months then. So how has your music evolved during that period?
Gotten heavier. Definitely gotten heavier.
100% gotten heavier.
Whose influence is that?
Joel.
Yeah, I think it's what we like all wanted to do, but we just like needed, like, because Dylan is an amazing guitarist, but he's much more influenced by like the Midwest, like emo, like
Bit more noise grunge.
Yeah, where like I feel like the blend of like Dylan and Joel, it makes like such a unique sound.
Okay.
But it's definitely gotten like, I think there's like an inspiration from like all of us, like we all have so many different influences, and it's fun blending them together to sort of see what we can create.
Okay, it's okay. So have you got any new material that you're going to share with us at Flystock?
We're working on a lot of stuff at the moment, and we've been in the studio quite a bit, so who knows? John, have you got anything to add?
Maybe, just maybe.
Maybe it's better than a definite no. So, given that you are from two ends of the country, although, you know, Wales isn't that big, still virtually 5 hours to Wrexham, how do you prepare and practice together?
So we're all in like uni in Cardiff. Like Tom's not even Welsh. He's yeah, he's where you from?
I'm from Leicester. But yeah, I've moved here for uni. So we just book out a room in the university and just kind of try and get there every week, make sure that we can do the set solid and everything. But when uni's shut, I think we've got to find a new place to...
Yeah, like last year when like uni was shut, it was a bit of a lull for like practicing, but we got straight back into it and like it was fine.
So did you play as part of the recent the Immersed Festival?
We didn't play as like on the main lineup for Immersed, but we did play the Fringe Fest, which was like the warm up on the Thursday. Yeah, maybe next year, hopefully, if all goes well. But like, fingers crossed.
Well, third year next year?
Yeah, third year next year. Yeah,
You'll probably
like John
be on...
worked it. John did work Immersed. He was doing like sound and like AR.
You're probably on the bill for next year then, I would have thought. I only know this because my son went there as well.
Oh.
So, do you feel any added pressure as it's a local venue to you, Rosie?
Yes and no. I feel like it's going to be fun to like play a venue that I used to go to like, weekly with my dad, like going on Fridays and Saturdays with my dad. But I don't know, I'm excited to play like with the band there, because we pretty much just play gigs in Cardiff at the moment. So it'll be fun to sort of like branch out and play to like a whole new different audience.
Okay. Now, I'm going to share something with you now that I've discovered doing part of this. With you guys being a new band and looking to go on to do gigs elsewhere, it's a software program by somebody called Hereby, which is part of the Music Venue Trust. So if you give me 2 secs, I'll just share the presentation. There we go. If you look at this, you can see these are based in and around the Cardiff areas. You can zoom in and you can see the ones you're familiar with. Okay, all the main venues around Womanby Street and around that area. But you can search anywhere. So if you're looking for gigs anywhere, then you can search right across the UK for anywhere to play gigs, you know, and it'll give you something about the artists and the venues as well. So it's useful for you guys starting out as a tool to find places to play.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's really interesting.
That's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, that's okay. I don't mind. There's not very many people know about it.
Yeah, I've never heard of.
Together. They are my images in the background of bands that I've seen. So, there's Parkway Drive, Blackstone Cherry, various other bands there, Alice Cooper. So that's the sort of thing that I do. Anyway, but that's by the by. So, a useful little resource. It might be worthwhile sharing that with the university as well, particularly, it's got, because there are only about 800 venues across the UK that are small grassroots venues. So, give you an idea. So say you wanted to go and play in Leicester, then Tom knows a couple, but you could meet somewhere in between and find somewhere else,
That's super cool, yeah.
So, have you had any other collaborations with any other bands that you're going to do for this event, or are you going to just do yourselves?
It's just going to be ourselves, but there may be something coming in the future as a collaboration. But yeah, do you want to add anything to that? There's been like chats and stuff, so hoping that I don't want to say too much, don't want to give too much away, but like there are potentially something coming in the future in terms of a collab with another Cardiff-based band.
So, is there anything particular that you'd really like to get across as part of your performance at the Dragonfly?
I am a yapper, as you've probably discovered. I sort of talk the most out of the band. But I feel like we're all very passionate about the state of Palestine and what is going on. So I try to mention that at every opportunity, like in our Instagram bio, we have a link of ways that you can help support Palestine, whether that just be donating, sharing post as well. We actually do have a new song that we performed twice at the moment. It's called Cyclone, and it's inspired about the state of America and what's going on with the mess of a government at the moment. But I feel we just try to talk about important issues. The very first gig that we did, we spoke about Palestine, and that was before John and Joel were in the band. So it is something that we're all passionate about and try to because someone's got to say it. Someone has to use their voice and say no matter how big or small your platform is, you have to do everything that you can to help.
Yeah, well, I try to be a bit apolitical, but I can't say I don't disagree. There we are. So, well, like I said, if you could send me some music, we'll include it on. And I'll see you at the Fly because I'll be there with camera in tow.
Amazing.
Because that's what I'm always there for. Yeah, that's basically it. So thank you very much for your time. I'm glad we've had a chat, managed to catch up. I'll send you the whole thing, and I'm going to stop the recording now, and then we can just yak for a few minutes.
No problem, thank you.